Good evening, everybody. Welcome to week 4. We're actually getting close to being finished with this mod. All right, so we're going to be going over the programs required for this class and the week 4 requirements. Remember, we're using Adobe CC 2018. All right, so if you have any questions, please let me know. All right, so what we're doing this week. Down here. Identify and implement interactive elements that follow current best practices in web design. Identify and implement animations that follow best practices in web design. Compose and write the design process for each of the portfolio projects being featured. Okay, now notice this is all stuff we've done up to this point still. Choose and implement a third-party plugin to use. Plan and execute an SEO search engine optimization strategy. Test and publish the responsive portfolio website live on the internet. Okay, now that one might be a little tough for you guys. So we'll get over that. We'll go over that. Create and video record a mock presentation of the portfolio website to a possible future employer or client. All right, so the discussion. Compose, write the design process for each of the portfolio projects being featured. So in other words, you're going to tell me how you created them. Understanding your design process is very important when communicating your work to a potential client or employer. Did I just close it? Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. Make sure all these are closed. All right, let's go back in here. Sure, we're still signed in. All right, so as we were discussing, the discussion. All right, they'll want to know how you came up with your concept. The best and easiest way to do this is go back to ground zero and determine what the problem you were asked to solve. With many school projects, you were given briefs to work with and didn't write them yourself, but you still solved the design problem. You may think the design speaks for itself. I shouldn't have to explain it. Agreed, but that is not what the discussion is about. You'll be sharing your design process by answering the following questions. What was the client's problem presented? Okay, here's what the problem is. Here's what we need. Low sales, new product, new target market, whatever was discussed in the brief. What methods did you explore to solve the problem? Example, different slogans, using color to motivate, extreme cropping, whatever type of things you tried until you came up with the final solution you were showing in your portfolio. Why did you feel your final solution was the best direction? Example, after experimenting with numerous slogans, the final one imbued the best call to action for the new product launch. Okay, this may seem very cumbersome at first, but the more you force yourself to write down your design process, the better you'll be able to communicate with potential clients and employers your creative vision. For this discussion, follow the process above and embed images of at least 3 of your portfolio pieces. Please do not link the images so your classmate has to download them. Your fellow classmates will give you constructive feedback. If you agree or like something they have done, then tell them why. If you have suggestions on improving their design, be respectful. Please give everyone a chance to receive feedback. When you go to do your replies, if you see a post that hasn't had feedback yet, help your fellow student out by giving them feedback. This is a perfect opportunity to not just do the bare minimum to get a grade. Help each other out. What you may learn from collaboration will make you stronger designers. Just because you're not all experts at design yet doesn't mean you can't learn from each other. With the guidance of your instructors and feedback from your classmates, you should come out of this course with potentially strong portfolio pieces. For your citation, you might use articles that show examples of constructive criticism. You can also find articles from experts that suggest ways to interpret criticism positively. So in other words, we're talking about how to give a critique. Okay? Your initial apply posts should work to develop a group understanding of this topic, challenge each other, build on each other, and always be respectful. All right, so basically, the biggest thing is as you're going through this, make sure that you follow 3 different things. And I'll get into that here later, okay? For this discussion, let's see, yeah, we just did that. Okay? Identify, this is the learning objective for the assignment. Identify and implement interactive elements that follow current best practices in web design. Identify and implement animations that follow best practices in web design. Choose and implement a third-party plugin. Plan and execute an SEO, search engine optimization strategy. Test and publish the responsive portfolio website live on the internet. This week, you'll implement revisions and additions to your portfolio website using the advanced Muse features you learned about in weeks 1 and 2. For this assignment, you'll finalize the design changes to your portfolio. So if I gave suggestions on your portfolio, please make sure to go back and read those suggestions before submitting it. Do not submit the same thing. That's points off. Revise your portfolio slider. Include at least a sentence description for each piece of artwork you are showing. Include at least 2 advanced Muse features, a homepage slider, panels, mobile menu, scroll, effect, composition, social, etc. After watching a live lecture, use this Muse widget website or one you find to download and implement a third-party plugin for the home page. Download a third-party plugin that is free. Select a third-party plugin that enhances your portfolio. Okay, that's part 1. Part 2, breakpoints. Okay, remember we discussed the breakpoints aren't working right now. So don't worry about that. So 2 you could skip. Part 3, add the SEO. All images must have alt tags for SEO. All pages must have titles, descriptions, and metadata for SEO. So you need to fill that all out completely. 4, upload the website. All right, this one, we will talk to you about how to do it. Not everybody's going to be able to upload it. You don't all have a URL of your own. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night for that part. All right? We might get to some of it tonight. Next, the assessment. It's a quiz. Okay? That's been covered on information that's been covered throughout the course. Now, if it's on something that's not working, answer it the best you can. When I go through and grade, I will look at the questions, and if it's on something that's not working in the program, I will give credit because you tried it. All right? Career integration. All right, this is something you see all the time. There's 3 questions. Make sure to answer them with at least 50 words to each, okay? That's the biggest thing people, that's one of the 2. There's 2 ways people lose points. 1, they don't answer. 2, they don't answer with helpful information, as in, this is what I liked about the class. This made it good. This made it stronger. This could have helped. And it has to be at least 50 words long. If it's not, then you're not fully explaining it. All right. And that puts us on the daily checkpoint. So we've gone through everything for this week. All right. Now with that, what we're going to start with. Let's go back here. I've uploaded this page. I think everybody recognizes this. This is my original website. Okay. Let's go back. As you can see here, the home page. All right. Now we've talked about why we don't want to do this, right? Now let's go take a look at all my graphics. All my graphics are right there. The About PSD. So I have these all here. But you'll notice I have them in 2 steps. So let's take a look. Go back to the master. Okay. So we click on it, go to the states. Notice I have them all right there. Let's do a fade. All right. So now what we're going to do, File, Preview Site and Browser. Go over it. Because it's selected, and it looks like the fade's not working the way it should be. Okay. Now let's go back and actually look at each of those. All right, so let's bring up the About button. And the About one. Okay, so the About one is the main button. All right, that's where I created a template, which I don't need 2 templates, do I? Now let's go back to this one. Notice the click, the mouse down, roll over, and normal. The reason that I have this second one right now, it's, yeah. You know what? We don't need that one. What I did do is I had 2, so I don't know what happened. I must have saved over it. Is I had 2. And this way, I always had, like, let's go to my button. Notice I have my text and I have the graphic. Okay. You go into it. Oh, look, the text. I could change my button because, well, I had a graphic in there, an image. So Command G. Option G. That gives me the copyright symbol. So I have it all based on the text, okay? So that's how I created those in there. Okay, so that's text. The About Me and everything, okay? So don't save. All right, now we go back and look. I did that for each one. As you can see, there's a little difference on the coloring of each because that one has a red kind of outline. And I did that just to test them. Okay, my mock-up. As we discussed the mock-ups last week for each page. And the test PSD. Okay, so now when I save this site, let's go to here. It's missing or incorrect because, well, let's go back and look. I didn't link the pages when I exported it. So when we do this, we have to make sure all the pages are linked, all right? So let's go back to the buttons. Home, goes to home, about me, portfolio, and contact. So now we're going to save these. File, save site. All right, and we're going to save it right there. Save, replace. Okay, there we go, saved. Next, we want to go up here, File, and we're going to export as HTML. The document contains a link to an asset that is missing. You could find or relink the missing asset using the assets panel. You guys need to check this one. I had a lot of missing assets, and if they're missing, that means you moved them and they won't get brought over, okay? So a lot of people had those assets missing and they didn't show up. All right, so what I need to do is we go over here and look at what it said. We have our widgets library, and our CC libraries. Our layers are assets. That's where we have to go. And we go down here, and there's the missing asset right here. All right, so it's on the master, so it's right there. All right, well, the way we did it is that's the home button, but that means this here is not. Let's go take a look in the folders. There it is, logo posters. But I have the AI and an SVG. Well, this is the AI. We cannot use the AI. All right. So to redo this, click down here, go to the graphics. Notice it's not here. Go back to the site. Well, it's right there. But we can't select it. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete that. And now we're going to place it again. File, place. All right. Go back to site, images, and I want the PNG. All right. And there we have our PNG. So now we're going to save it all. File, save site. Close it. Now watch. There's no error. And that's something you have to make sure you don't have. None of those errors. Make sure all those links are good. Go to your assets. If you see a bad one, go ahead and make sure you fix that. Okay? All right, next. Well, now what we need to do is file. And okay, if we do the add files for upload, this is what we get. These are extra files I can upload to it now, okay? They will get uploaded with this. File. Now we want to export as HTML, Loki Designs. And we're going to click here to make sure we're going to the right place. Site, choose, okay. All right, form contact is not configured with an email address of Michael Brooks because this is who I have signed up Muse with, Dreamweaver, the Adobe Creative Suite, okay? By doing that, this will automatically say, okay, this form, this doesn't match that. That's fine. If you want your email to go to a different address, that's fine. All right? Okay. Now let's go take a look at it. And we come back here, index. All right, the About Me, portfolio, contact me, and submit. It's going to tell me I can't because I have required fields set. All right, now, so now you've seen that. That's how you do it. That's what you're going to do. So make sure you fix those, because if they're not fixed this round, this is the final one. Okay? Now, what I want you to submit. Okay, let's close this now. Yes. You're going to be, now notice this, July 17. Okay, that's a backup. So don't save. Come back to this one. Well, we just fixed that. Okay, we just fixed that. Why is that saying it doesn't exist? So let's try to, you know what we're going to do is we're going to actually put it into here. Oh, look, we have that. So let's go back to the assets, click on it. Now we right click. Now relink from CC libraries. Come over, click on that and relink. Cannot make it item created with Muse. Instead, delete each instance of the asset in your site. Drag out a copy of this item from the CC libraries to replace it. Okay, so what we have to do, bring this up, delete it. Now I go to the CC libraries and bring it on over. Remember, this program, if you use Shift, you can warp it. If you don't use Shift, it comes out even. All right? So now we're going to save it. Save. All right, now we're going to go back. I'm going to delete this one because I no longer need it. Okay, so now let's open that again. What? We just fixed it. Okay, since it's being difficult, we're going to add and again we're having this little thing where it's deciding, hey, I don't want to do what I'm supposed to do. All right, so let's go grab the image. There it is. Now we're going to add it. Okay, make sure you have an open file. So we're going to delete that. Now we're going to save it first. Save. All right, now let's bring it up. All right, so there we have it. Notice we're not getting that error. So let's try this again. All right, so now we're going to take this and drag it onto here. All right, so there we have it. Now we're going to save that. Save. Okay, so we take a look back, and we're still got the 1. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all those and create a new folder. All right, so now I have my backup of everything that I had before. All right. So now I could go in here, open it up. Now it's working. Notice. Why is it doing that? We should have fixed that issue. Okay. You know what? Don't worry about that because now I'm seeing this is not allowing you to fix that issue. You know what? Let's try something. I'm going to copy that. Delete it. Paste in place. Paste in place. Well, see now it's saying the asset's still missing. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and not worry about that one. Because as you can see, I've taken it out and added it back in 5 or 6 different ways. It is not working again. All right, so now we're getting used to that since, like I said, they're outdating it. So now, next, File. We want to go File. We need to actually open the site. And it brought it up. That's interesting. It brought it up that time without the error. So we're going to go File and Export as HTML. Go to the folder. That's where I want it. And OK. Take a look. It's all there. The images are all here. OK. Now, if I click here, each page has the parts in it that I need. If you look at the bottom, you'll see that there's still that little issue at the bottom of the page. So, yeah. All right. So that's how we're going to do that. And so I'm not going to get really picky on that. But anyway, like I was saying, the way that you present this, well, you don't have to have your graphics, but you do need the muse and the site. What you're going to do, right click, compress. Let's go back to the assignment. Notice you can't update, you can't upload it. Right? Really? Yeah. Since you can't upload it, what we're going to do is I'm going to have you just send it to me via email. All right? Let's go back. Take a really good look here. See what you see. All right, so you have a place to submit your assignment. Okay, so submit it. Now let me go check to make sure that it's set up for the proper file. And you're going to add all that stuff to it. Text, Online entry options, website URL, file uploads. So you can do this. You'll upload the files. Website URL, I'm turning that one off. Okay? I'm not going to be taking points off for that. All right. So as you can see, I've set that so you can do that. All right. All right, next, what we want to do. Let's talk about this again. We're going to go create another one. All right. Okay, so I have all my graphics right here. So I'm going to use them. That's the mock-up. We're not going to create the mock-up. Okay, we've already done that. So we can just go straight to creating. All right, so what I'm going to do is go to here, new folder, week 4. All right, now with week 4, we're going to create a new site. So file, new site. All right, I have Loki's photography as well. All right, so I'm going to use that. Fluid, advanced settings, minimum height. Let's go to 920. Say okay. All right, now let's go up here to the CC libraries. This is Loki's Fire, Loki Designs, Loki's Photography. There's my colors. All right. But you'll notice we don't have anything for it. Let's go out here. There's my portfolio for my designs. There's my logo. Let's go grab my Loki's Fire Performance, my Loki's Photography. All right. Okay. Well, I thought I had it. Okay. Well, I have these colors, so we're going to create one. So what I'm going to do first thing is Photoshop, create a new logo. All right, we're going to go 72. Let's do it in inches. It makes it easier. We're going to do 5 by 5. All right, so now I have this 5 by 5. And I could zoom in. And this is going to pixelate this thing big time. But anyway, so now let's design a really quick logo. All right, so let's go to here. And choose a really cool frame. There we go, that's exact. So that's exact same height and width. All right, so now we have that. So first things first, what we're going to do is let's select that center. Notice I can't because, well, I didn't select my layer, but it's not a fill layer. So what I have to do is you can't come here and do it. I could do it through blending, or I could also image and yeah, layer and rasterize shape. Okay, now I can take that center, add a new layer, and now we're going to put let's do the red. All right, so now we have that. Command D. Notice how pixelated it is on the edge. So what I want to do is this. Well, I want it to be this color. Okay. So we're going to click on that and take this and dump it. There we go. So that added that. All right, so next, what I want to do is take this, bevel and emboss. No stroke. Shadow, inner glow, no inner glow. Satin, no. Color, gradient. Let's take a gradient. No, let's not use a gradient. Let's use a pattern. All right, so take this down so you can actually start to see the clouds. Lighten it up. Okay, there we go. And that looks pretty good. Next, what we want to do is we want to add another layer of text. Okay. Now notice those are so close together just because of the style of text. So what we're going to do is modify this. So first, let's go to a fancy one that actually looks like it's going to go to a photographer. Okay, and still see the same thing. This is why I actually prefer Command C, delete, to do this. To do it separate. Photography. Now I'll just put it right there. Oh boy, spell check helps. All right, but let's take it down. Okay, and what I could do is do the Command E, combine those. Now it's really. There we go. Really. All right, you want to be difficult and keep going back. And we're going to do it this way. All right, so now we have that into one. So we do the Command T, shrink it down. All right, now that puts it in the middle. Apply. Okay, now notice this is at 420%. Let's go down. See, that's starting to look pretty good. Next, what we want to do, let's make that stand out a little more. Bevel and emboss. Texture. All right, so now we're going to increase the depth just a little. Okay, that's going up. Let's put it down so it looks like it's... No, I like the up better for this one. Put that down just a little. Soften it. All right, and then we'll play with this a little. Okay, so yeah. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. And say, okay, now we're going to go and lock that layer, go to this one, and we're going to do the same thing. Bevel and emboss. Ooh, look what that just did. The opacity. Okay, we want it there. The fill, we'll leave that. And by doing this, look, we lost that red. So this is where like the satin comes in. Ooh, that looks kind of good. Looks like an eyeball. So what we're gonna do, let's go this one, T, shrink that down just a little. And there we have it. There we go, that's better. Okay, and put a pattern on that. Notice the opacity is not doing anything there. So we'll just leave that one as outer glow. No. Drop shadow. Oh, let's put the drop shadow. It adds a little to the bottom. Inner glow. Inner shadow. There we go. That one looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and use that. All right. So file. Save as. Okay, here we're working on that. And now, go back. Now we're on week 4. We're going to add a new folder. The graphics. All right, so this is logo. All right, so now I have my logo. All right, now we need this logo to be able to work for something, right? So how do we do that? What we're going to do is File, and we're going to export it as a PNG. Okay, save it, and there it goes. We can lower this. Okay, so next. Well, now we want to start lighting this up on the colors. So we're going to make the background. All right, Command 0, so that everything fits. And I'm going to make the background. And remember, we go over, it will increase the size of the page. All right, now for the color, well, I just go over here to my library, choose the color. All right, now I have that. So now we're also going to File, Place. Go back to week 4. Come on, desktop. Week 4. There we go. Graphics. And I'm going to grab the PNG. All right. And look at that. All right. That's kind of hard to see. It's really dull. Okay. So remember that when you're making your logos, that's going to be really dark on this page. Now, let me try something here. And instead, let's do this. Okay, now that sticks out, kind of. That's still too bright for that. Well, let's go to here. Ew, that's definitely not going to work. So we're going to stay with that. All right. Just know that that one's too dark now. Okay. So what do we do? Well, what we're going to do next is now we'll check our assets. No problem. We're going to add the layers. Well, to do this, I'm going to create a little button. Okay. Let's go back to Photoshop. All right, we're going to use this size. And we're going to place this. So we're going to delete. And delete. Yes. So file, save as, button. Loki's photography. Button. All right, so now we've got the start to our button. What I want to do is I'm going to create a little camera. Well, let's take a look and see what we have here. There is no camera. So how do we draw a camera? We have this, but that's film. It's not a camera per se, right? Come up, there's no other film. Well, there's this film. So we're going to go ahead and use that. All right, so there's the start of my button. Now, notice I'm at Loki Design. So let's go to Loki's Photography. There's my colors, right? All right, so next, there we go. There's my colors. All right, so the next thing I want to do, well, we want to convert that to a regular shape. Notice we can't do it there. We have to actually go over to Image, Layer, come down here, Rasterize, Shape. All right, so now I can fill in between. Let's try this. That's actually looking good for a good button. I'm going to do this for each of them. All right, so that's now done. Well, let's take one more look. Let's take a look at the dark blue. That looks pretty good right there. So we're going to go ahead and use that as a button. All right, so this is the background. Okay, next I need the text. Click here. Home. All right, that color's not going to work. Select that. Let's see, make sure it's centered. Let's go to that light blue. That works pretty good. Okay, Command T, Shift. All right, oh, that's too high, so definitely have to take it down. All right, so there's the home button. So we now have this. Well, remember, we have to change the colors, right? All right, so this, what we're going to do is come here for the layers. So I want, there we go, a group. And those will go into it. There, they're now in there. All right, so this is group 1. Let's go back over. And now we have to bring something in just so I could show you this. What are our things again, right? Let's go take a look at the states. Well, the states are blank until you put something in there. So we're going to click this. I need normal, rollover, mouse down, and active. All right, so this is going to be normal. Normal. Now I do a Command J. Rollover. Make sure I'm doing this. Rollover, mouse down, and active. J. Mouse down. And active. All right, but nothing's changed. All right, so we're going to turn those off and that one. For the rollover, well, for the rollover, what I'm going to do is take this, the background. There's my rollover. Okay, and then this will become dark. Okay, so there's my rollover button. Next, well, now's the mouse down. All right, so I'm going to take this. Mouse down. And there's that. Okay, so there's my mouse down. Now the only one missing is active. See, active, mouse down, rollover, normal. All right, so for the active, what we're going to do is we're just going to leave it like that. So now, if I click this, do a Command E. Look, it turns right into that, okay? So, we're going to go File, Save As, Home. All right, so that's now done. But now, what I'm going to do is Command E for each one. Okay, and save it. Now I'm going to File. Here's where I goofed. File. So we go back to the main button. So let's open that button. I did not save before I did that. All right. So what we need to do, come back to here. Now we have it. So this, File, Save As, LP button, Save, Replace. Okay. Now we do the Command E. File, Save As, now the Home, and Replace. All right, so now I have my Home button. So we close that, File, open the LP button. It's a cake, right? Now, what we're going to do, we're going to open each one of these. Okay, click here. Well, now we need home, portfolio, contact, and about. All right. So about. All right, file, save as. Now, about. All right, now I'm going to close these. Now, if I did this for all of them and activated each one like this and did the Command E, see, it combines them. You don't want to do that. So you have to do them individually. And save the about. All right, so that's done. Next. So now we're going to close that. Now we're going to open the LP button. Okay, now portfolio is not going to fit there. But what we're going to do, port. Close these. Right, file, save as. You guessed it. Port. All right, Command E. Command save. Yes. File. Open. ELP. Okay, so I've done the home, about, port. Now I need a contact, right? So we're going to go File, Save As, Contact. All right, so now, T-A-C-T. Now notice that's too much. So we're just going to put cont. Now we'll actually shrink this down just a little. Okay. Now all we have to do is, I could copy that, but once I do, all the coloring is going to be messed up, remember? So we just do the same thing. Okay, so continue. Okay. It's 75. 75. All right, now turn that off and on. Notice it's down there, so it's going to be there. There we go. Perfect. Okay. UE. 5. Whoa. Take that one off. And that's a little large. What did I put? I put 85. 75. There we go. Okay. So now that one's fixed. Notice I'm doing this in the contact button, not my main button. Okay. And now I'm down to this one. Why does that say continue? So there we go. It helps if I spell it right, right? There we go. All right, now close and close. Now take a look. So it goes down. Did it there too. So I could probably go up a little larger on that button. But we're not going to worry about that right now. There we go. Here, here, and there. All right. So now we have those. Now all I do is Command E, Command E, Command E, and Command E, and S. So now I have all my buttons made. So now we're going to bring them in. All right. So File, place Photoshop button. Home. The home page. Well, let's go back to the right spot. For graphics, I want my home button. Open. Normal, roll over, mouse down, and active. Okay. And we put it right here. Wow, that's large. So we're going to do this. Take it down. Okay, so there we have it. 100 by 100. File. Place Photoshop button. About. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing. Right. Right there, and that looks pretty good right there. Portfolio. Go down to the 100. All right, now we'll put it up there. And the last one. Down. And we'll put that one right there. All right, now that's really close in. So what we're going to do is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, that looks pretty good. So we're going to save this. File, save site. Okay, so let's go back to the desktop. Desktop. MOD7 week 4, and this is where we're saving it. Now we're going to call it Focus Photography. All right, now we have it. Let's take a look at this. Nothing works right now. That turned out pretty good. I like how those buttons work. I may even keep this site, just lighten this up. All right, so next what we want to do is we're going to take, close that, and we're going to add things to it. So first, we need to add the actual pages. Okay, so my home, 1, 2, and 3. So about, portfolio, contact. All right, so now we save this site. Okay, so next, what I want to do is now we've got this site going. So we're going to go to the home. Now I'm going to place a graphic on there. So file. And because this is a photography site, this is where you could have fun with those that I did last time on that other one. All right, so let's open that up, file. And we're going to go back to open recent, Logan design site. And what I'm going to do is open the home, Command C, copy that. Now we go back over to here. Now if I do the Command V, paste in place. See, that put everything over there. I didn't want to bring this graphic, right? But because I made it one graphic, now I can't take it apart. So that's something to think about as you're doing this, okay? So now we're going to go get some photos. All right, let's place some photos. All right, we had that. Oh, look, there's the PNG. Okay, so I have a PNG of all that. And drag and drop. Notice it didn't show up. But now it is. So it takes a few seconds for drag and drop. You actually have to go on over. But look again, I still have that one that I did not want. But we're going to go ahead and keep that on there for this, okay? And we're going to make this larger. Okay, there's the middle. And we'll put it right about there. Okay, there's my home page. So I'm going to close that. No longer need that site. All right, so now I have this. Close that. So my home page is done. Piece of cake. All right, and you do this individually. Next, what we want to do, the about. Well, the about is text, a text box. All right. Okay, and you want it lined up with that. The way to do that is just like that. Take it, line it up. Now notice that's lined up. I don't want it lined up right there, so I want some space. So that's going to be a pretty good space right there. Equal there. I want it equal over here. Okay, now the text is going to be light blue. Okay, now that's a little small, right? Well, let's take a look. And we're going to save that file, preview site and browser. All right, this is what it looks like. Now, notice that white blue is really hard on the eyes. I'd probably convert that to like the black. But now, the home, the about, it's not going over. Well, let's go back and take a look. Did I put the links in? Can't look here, so let's close that. Notice I have the about, so let's go back here again. Home. Well, home. About. Portfolio. And contact. Now watch the difference. So file, save site. Now watch the difference. File, preview site and browser. Okay, home, about, portfolio, and contact. Those are empty. All right. So now I want to make that look a little better. We're just going to leave that color for now, though. And notice this is the page I'm on, so it doesn't change. The active page is the same color. That's why you would change it, right? All right. So we're not going to worry about that. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and fix all that. All right, so we're going to go back to the contact. All right. Now the active, let's go ahead and change the background here. All right. And we're going to use black for it. Okay. All right, so we come down here with this. There. And there. Yes. I'm just changing it on the active button for each one of them. Contact, port, about, ooh, I kind of like that too. Okay, save, and the home. About, contact, portfolio, and home. All right, now we're going to go back over. A lot of people think, okay, now I got to replace all those. But Let's go to let's click here, go to the assets. Now, notice there's a warning for them. Okay, because every one of them's been changed. So what I want to do is we're going to relink. Notice we can't just do that. So how do we do this? The about. Well, we do the right click, update asset. Update asset. Update asset. Because I saved it and it's still saved in the same place, the link is there. And you notice I have to actually do that for every step, okay? Because it brought them in as separate graphics. So I'm still updating them all. They're still linked to one file, but they're linked to different layers. Now watch. Save. File. Preview site and browser. All right, now watch the difference. Home, see? About. Roll over, normal, roll over, click, and selected page. Normal, roll over, click, selected. And I still have a contact in there. I continue in there. So let's go back and, well, we fixed that the easy way, right? Go to Photoshop. That's the contact button. And there we go. There's the continue. But notice, once you've brought these down, you can't fix that. All right? So you would have to rebuild the button. So I'd go back to here. Drop them down. All right, so File, Save As. This is going to be the contact button. Save. Replace. All right. Now, it's contact button, right? C-O-N-T-A-C-T. All right, notice it's large. So what we need to do is we're going to bring that down just a little. 3. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Close that. Close that. T. Okay, perfect. And the last one. Now notice though, we'll go back and fix that here in a minute. All right, now we have all these buttons. Well, the one thing we didn't do was change that one, so the active is the black. Okay, let's go in the background. Now I could just change that whole thing. See, now Command S, the Command E, save it. Now we go into here, click on the contact, notice, again, now we want to update, 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 and update. Perfect. Now you can also select them all, but notice you can't just update. Okay. All right, so we now have that. So let's save it, Command S, and we're going to take a peek at it. All right, the about, port, so up, regular, rollover, unclick, and select. That's active, excuse me. So contact is, there's the select, rollover, click, active. All right, so we now have all these working. So the about, though, if you look, is a little small. Okay, so we're going to close the master. We've got all that working. One other thing, actually, before we go on. Remember, we're going to click, right click. When we come down here, image properties, tooltip, Loki's photography logo. And the alternative text, same thing. Okay. Same thing. So let's go to here. We want to come up here. Notice, let's try this again. We can replace it, hide and breakpoint, clear all, footer item, pin the stage, resize, add to library, arrange, select same, copy, cut, paste, paste, copy, copy, cut. Notice there is no place to put the info on the link. Okay, so that's something to remember with that. And we go here, and we can't do it there either. Okay, so that's something to remember is your links, oops, are going to have that issue. Now if I select them all, same thing, nothing. Okay, so I cannot make them smart links. All right, so let's close that. All right, now this is open, file, come down here, and site properties, content. Okay, so this is automatically links. That's the default. Well, we just change those. All right, so we don't need to worry about that. All right, now on this page, though, home. Let's go back here. Now if I go right click, page properties, metadata, description, Loki's photography home page, keywords, Loki's photography Photography. Now I could put Loki, but by putting Loki, that can cause issues in some search browsers because they'll say, okay, you're putting something that doesn't belong to this site. Granted, it's the name. So that's a hit and miss on some of them, okay? And the HTML for the header. How do we do the header again? Okay, so what if I did this? Loki's photography. Now watch. Save it. Command S. Preview site in browser. Notice it says home. It does not say Loki's photography. It says it right here though. Okay, you actually have to put it because that put it at the top of the page. All right. So what we have to do, open, close. All right, now let's try it. Still home, but it's not here. Okay, so what do we have to do? Well, here's what we're going to do. Let's go here, Loki's Loki Designs. All right, so we're going to go to the home. All right, now this should say, this even says home. That says about Loki Designs, okay? So I never fixed it on this. Okay, but what I want to do is copy, and notice it doesn't say it here, but right click, view page source. Come up here. Notice this is all metadata. All right. What I'm looking for is what says about Loki Designs. Don't see it, don't see it, don't see it. This is how you could do this to try to, if you don't remember putting it. But we come down here and it's right there. All right, so we copied that. All right, now let's go back. Page properties, come down here, and V. Now watch the difference. Save it. Preview. Come on, really? I should have changed that. Okay. So it looks like the coding's not working. So title. Well, let's try this. And look, it put it right back up there. So it's supposed to be putting it right up here, but it's not. As you can see, well, there's another error. But make sure when you're doing this, you do it correctly, all right? So Command V. Title, about Loki Designs, okay? So, okay. Whoops, let's go back. Page properties, Loki Design, Loki Designs. All right, so we're gonna leave it as is there. Okay. So we're gonna go page properties, description. This is the about. Okay. photography. Keywords, same thing. Loki's photography. Loki's photography. Photography. Loki. Okay. This is about Loki's photography. So, about Loki's photography. All right, so Command S. Let's see if any of these work. Yeah, I didn't even put it up there. That's weird. Now it's putting all that info up there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back. Properties. You know what? I'm going to take that out. Since that's not working the way it's supposed to be. So now I should do it. You're saying how the coding's not working. Home page, the about, portfolio, contact. So what we're going to do is index. Or, yeah, we're going to leave that home. About. Now this can also be causing some problems. Let's take a look. So I've made it, as you can see. Okay, so we have the home. About LP, see? That takes it right to that. So in other words, it's not allowing you to put the code in there like it's asking. So don't worry about that one line. All right, so now you can see how we've got these set up. 3 and 4. All right, close. All right, now, file, we're going to export as HTML. Let's go into here. Okay, and I'm going to add the new folder. ML. All right. Choose. Loki's photography. Invalid domain. So we're just going to call it lp.com. Loki's photography. Now watch. There's my site. Now I go over the button over this. Right click. Inspect and see. Did you look here? Loki's photography logo. It's the alternate. Okay? So that's how you're going to check it. But we go to here. Notice it automatically put it into those. As we come down, here is the code for the site. Now you're starting to see there's a lot of extra text that shouldn't be in there. This is one of the reasons they're getting rid of it. Okay? Okay, there we go. So now we've set this up. So now we're going to go into the portfolio. All right, so for the portfolio, let's say today I'm going to add so buttons, tiled slideshow. So we put this here. Okay. Now we're waiting as it spins. To add the graphics. So now effects. Notice we can't see anything yet. Not until we add the files. So we're going to put in, let's put in the fire eating. Fire breathing. And the fire breathing. Right, notice this is an extra one. So we will leave it blank. All right, so we click here on effect 2. Notice you're not able to see the effects, right? So we're going to have to just run it and see what happens. So file, save site. Preview site in browser. Let's go to portfolio. That's number 2. And there's a blank one because I didn't put anything in. Okay. So let's take a look at that one more time. Go up to here. You only have choices of 4. You can't even delete one. And that's because this is what happens. You'll have to buy it to get more functions to that. All right. The library. The drop down for mobile. Scrolling text, which we don't need to worry about here. So let's go ahead and go to the widgets library. There's panels. Or I have slideshows. Okay. So we're going to take the thumbnails. Put it over here. All right, now what I want to do is, well, we're going to right click. Now here's where we add images. Okay. So let's go back to here. So we're going to take the fire eating. Add another image. Notice now we're down. So we come here. Fire breathing. Notice it adds it after. Fire breathing. All right, now I want to modify this. So I click here. And I can make them now 1 tall. And this is where you put your information. Okay. So we're going to make that 06EEF4. 06EEF4. All right, so it's made. Now this background, it's hard to see it on it. So what we're going to do, come on, I didn't want that. I want the button. All right, there we go. Make the background that. Or we can do that, but yeah. Okay, so let's do that. And now you're seeing how to put up a sentence for them. Whoops. The heart fire breath. Loki eats fire. Loki breathes fire upward. All right, so there we have that. Okay. Now let's take a look at these buttons a little. They're really bright. What I could do though, is I could take that button and put it right here. Take this one. Right there. And this really isn't needed. So this can go out that whole thing. We go in here and let's see, we're fading it out. New thumbnail, fill frame properly, enable swipe, shuffle, light box. Okay, there's the light box. That puts a background behind it. Freeform thumbnails. We don't want to do that because now I could change them. Okay. We come down here again. And notice it doesn't give you the option for centering. Not there. We go up here to align. Okay. Text. Align. See, you have to do it under the text align. All right, this, let's come out a little. Just use my arrow keys, it's so much easier. Okay, now what I want to do is let's make that yellow. And that darker. Okay, that yellow is not going to work, so we're just going to do this. Okay, or we can just do that. And then the text, now it matches. And see, and I can even, can't really do much here, but I can take that, come up here to the text, make it bold, go up to 36. Well, let's take the bold off at 36. Notice right here, watch the difference. Italics. Oh, that's kind of cool. And there we have it. All right, so save. File. Preview site and browser. Home. The About. Portfolio. And the contact. Now we're going to work on the contact page. All right, for the contact. So now we're going to close that. for the contact. All right, now I need to add a form. All right, so let's go back to my widgets. Now I could go out and get other contacts, but I want to do my own here. So notice there's a social, but there's no contacts. So how do we add a contact? Well, that's the forms. Detailed or simple. Let's do the simple. All right, now, one, that almost matches, but we're going to go into here. We're going to change that color to light blue. Dark blue, that kind of works. But it will need a border if I do that. So let's go ahead for now and just do the light blue. It doesn't really match this, but yeah. Now this, I'm going to take this color. This. Let's make it yellow. That's going to look good. And then here, light blue. All right, now we click this whole thing. Take a look. Notice I have it going to here. Well, I want it to come to my email at home. So what I'm going to do, jl.brooks.boise@gmail.com. Okay? And we could add more if we want, or we take it back out. Okay? Go back and look. Yep, changed. All right, file. Now we're going to save the site. I think we make this form. See, I can even make those colors. And the text, dark blue. Now see, it doesn't stand out from the button any longer, does it? So let's make the button stand out. All right, so to do this, what we're going to do, come up here to the color. I'm going to take, you know what? Notice I can't just come over here unless I choose this. Now I could take a color I want. But each one you have to actually go back and click. Select, take, submit. So we're going to go ahead and make it a black and then the text. Now we could make the text yellow, but that's a dull yellow, so it doesn't really stand out. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the text that color and the background yellow for this purpose, okay? Because like I said, that's the color I used. All right, now we're going to save it, file, export as we're going to preview site in browser, okay, home, about, portfolio, contact, now watch. Submitting this form from Muse Preview will not work. You have to actually upload it to an FTP host. All right, now, how do I do it? See, now it says I have an error because of that. That's what that's explaining. All right, now, to get this uploaded, So we're going to go File, Upload to FTP host. Server address. Now, I have to have my user ID. Okay, well, to get that, I can just go out here. Bluehost. And log in. I want that one. Submit. See, this will keep all your passwords and logins. And now I'm in there. All right. So to get this, I just come down here. And right here is the information I need. All right. So the username is this. All right. Or I can go to File Manager. Okay, now let's go take a look at this one. You can see there's all the files. Now I haven't done any changing to these 400s to make them look like mine. So those are the normal ones that they put there. If you put a 401.html and save that, you can actually make your own error messages, okay? All right, so let's go down. Take that. One needs to be gone because it's no longer there. They put it on their own site. All right, and you'll see I have all my pages here, right? There's my contact. I have a favor icon, which you can make. Not all are using these anymore. That's like this right here. That's a favor icon, okay? Not all sites or hosting servers let you use them anymore, but some do, like this. All right, so as you can see, there's all that. So I want to go back. Home root, Logi Designs, home directory, the web root. If I wanted to go to that, that automatically takes me into that same page. Okay, so I have a choice. Go to the main one or go to that one. Okay, so now we're going back. Now I want to look at, come down here, some of the things that you can do. There's databases, there's programming. You could program your stuff like we have been. Advanced. Now this is just on this is bluehost.com, okay? So it all depends. The website manager. These are very important, okay? So I could do it through those, all right? I prefer to make my own, especially when it comes to Drupal and Joomla. Yeah, they're so much easier to make your own. Okay. App Machine for making apps. Go mobile. I can make my site go mobile and basically create it from here. But notice you have to add on that extra bit to do that. Now, the way that if you make the site interactive, it'll automatically do that normally. But with the mess ups that this program's having, it's not really working. All right. Now I'm going to not worry about this tonight anymore. And tomorrow we'll go over how to put it up there. But like I said, you don't have to do this. Right now, all you have to do So we'll close this. Put your information in these pages. And notice what that gives me. There we go. It gives me these files. I do not need that one, but you just take those two, zip them, and submit them to me. That's all I'm looking at. And I will look at this, and I'll look at the HTML that you get out of it. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete all that. Okay? One more time. Open the site. And notice there's an issue already. So it's tagging, for some reason, not liking some of these graphics. But once it opened them, there's no issue again. All right, so file. Now we're going to export as HTML. Okay, put the name there and the site where you're putting it. Choose. Okay. And there we have it. Then zip those two folders. Uh-oh, what did I do? Let's bring this back up. File. Export as HTML. Ah, there we go. Choose. I put it into the old one from yesterday. Okay, so let's go back. Now look, all that's there. All right, so index, which is the home, about, portfolio, and contact. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and end class. If you have any questions, please contact me. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you. Have a nice evening.